Hi, my name is David. I'm the founder of Cafe Racers of Instagram and the guy that does all the posting that you see.
Yeah, my name's Andrew. I am the co-founder of CROIG and do a lot of the building.
Cafe Racers of Instagram came first, and it was started at the beginning of 2014. But then I met Andy shortly afterwards, so we decided to create a page, CROIG.
We wanted Cafe Racers of Instagram, the page, to remain about the community and about other people and their builds and their experiences, and CROIG was more about what we do. When I was told I should meet up with David, I was building bikes just as a hobby.
At that time, Instagram, people were joining, engagement was high, growth was crazy, like 5,000 followers a day. Back then.
I feel like the first trip that we did too kind of propelled all of it.
We bought a $350 van off of Craigslist and loaded up 2 CB550s, went through a snowstorm, missed our first stop by a day, and sold off that van, and then we hit the road for 4 weeks. But it was all because he wanted to just kind of dip out for a minute and just hit the open road.
We left in around Thanksgiving is when we got to Austin, and we had posted our route on Cafe Racers of Instagram, and we were like, has anyone got places to crash? And all of a sudden everyone was like, come see us, come see our bike group. It became a thing immediately. That was the funnest thing I'd ever done.
It was
like
in my life. Craziest high that we had both had, because
we were just like going from city to city, riding into a group of people that were like, some places we stopped, there were like people, like film crews following us in,
it was
and
crazy.
There were big parties, and it was just like
we got wild.
We had no idea what the fuck we were doing.
No idea what to expect. We came back and we were ready to just attack it full on because we were just so inspired by it. I rode sport bikes, he started building bikes, but we had no idea what the culture of being a motorcyclist, what that looked like then.
Yeah, we just kind of threw ourselves into it.
And I think that's part of the reason why we're here now. 6 years later, we've remained off camera for a majority of it, just because we didn't want to tie a person or people to a page, but more so create CROIG and turn it into something that inspires people to do their own builds and to travel and to hit the open road. Between the both of us, I think that's been the most impactful part of CROIG. It's meeting the people and like throwing ourselves deep into the community.
Yeah, I mean it's paid off very well. Not monetarily.
No.
We're fucking broke, but
there's no money in it, that's
it
for
doesn't.
sure.
You can't put any kind of like monetary value on the human experience and like traveling around the country on a motorcycle.
We've even had heard stories from, there's this one kid, and he was talking to us about how he quit his job and he had seen the video that we had originally shot in Moab on our first trip with Mark, and he hit the road and like traveled, and he was so stoked that he was able to meet us, partially because he didn't even know what we looked like, but then he found out because our bike was there, and he was geeking out, and he brought his friends with too or something like that too.
Yeah, and they were like, dude, this guy watches your video like so many times, and he's watched it so many times, and he quit his job and he like just took off on his bike, and we're like, what? Like we had that effect on another human being when we didn't even know what we were doing.
We had no idea what we were doing. We overpacked for our first trip. It was like enough to fill a tiny home each. So we had no idea what we're doing, and we had no idea how to even navigate that. We never went into it thinking we know everything, our opinion matters. we were geeking out ourselves, being at these custom shows, meeting these cool people, seeing these incredible bikes, and then in addition to that, being able to travel. Like, we were good. Like, there's no money aside. Like, we were down to just hustle our ass off just for more of these experiences and moments. It's strange, but I personally think that CROIG is about community before it is even about custom motorcycles, you know, because anyone that rides a motorcycle, custom or not, has that same experience, has that same feeling, knows what it's like. But at the same time, not everyone knows what it's like to hit the road for 4 weeks. Actually, our longest stint was 6 weeks. And it was incredible. It's always a good time, like with friends, with meeting people, seeing new places. That's kind of what the human soul like desires. At one point, I even told Andy, the first trip, I was like, dude, touch my face. All my acne is gone. I have no stress. It's as smooth as a baby's butt. I kid you not. Like, every day you're seeing something and you're like, I have never seen this. And that was like the biggest high I've ever had, that first trip. And that's what's kept us going, you know, 6 years later or 5 years later. The reason why we decided to do this now, amidst like COVID and everything too, is because there's so many people out there with like stories that deserve to be told. And
Absolutely.
How do we do that? And so we want to dive deep into that and find the people with 5 followers, 10 followers. Like, it's not about social media. We want to find the people that are doing things in hopes that does inspire even more people to do things. The motorcycle community has just been so impactful to us. That's why we keep pushing and why we want to keep digging deeper and find those people that have those inspiring stories.
You can give me a kill site quick, or just clap.
Clap.
Yeah. Yeah, just clap.
Cool.